Good. Okay, well, hi everybody. Welcome back to Verling.com. Welcome to another English class this hour. My name is Lisa. I'm one of the English teachers here at Verbling. I'm from the United States and I live in the state of Washington, which is on the West Coast. In this we're going to be doing some reading. I have an article that I chose for you, and I put the article up in the Verbling chat, and I'm going to give you now the document, the link to the document where I copied this so that we can make it a little bigger and then see it better. So there's the link to the Google document. So if you want, you can open that. You can also just read it from my screen. I also do the screen share while we are reading. So let me just say hi to everybody, and we'll see if we have a couple other people join us, and then we'll get started. So, hi Hamit, how are you doing back in Turkey?
I am very well, and I gave a break time for my studying, so I am in the lesson.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's always great to have you, of course, in the lessons.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, Aris, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So,
it's the first time here.
First time. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And how do I say your name? Is it Aris or Aris or?
Aris.
Aris. And where are you from?
Spain.
Oh, cool.
From Catalonia.
Catalonia. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Lots of new students from Spain today so far. That's great. Well, welcome. And Ahmed, you're back. Are you home now?
Yeah, I am back and I am in the home now. Sorry, I lost the connection in the last chat, the last class. I lost my connection in the road.
Oh,
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand. Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes the connections are not so great. Okay, guys, well, let's go ahead and we'll get started. And if some other people want to join us, perhaps they will. We had some reservations. So, Aris, is this your first class, or have you already taken?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, it's my first class.
Okay, so have you been watching Verbling? Do you know how it works, or do you want me to explain a little bit?
Okay.
Okay.
You can explain me a little bit.
Good. Okay. Okay, so on Verbling we have lots of different teachers. We have, of course, English classes and Spanish classes, and I'm one of the teachers, and I give classes pretty much almost every day, 1 or 2 classes, sometimes 3. Also, a lot of the teachers, or all of the teachers, give private lessons. But if you want to come to the classes, you can come and look at the schedule and see what types of classes people will be giving. We usually give, like reading classes, speaking, listening, grammar, vocabulary, conversation, lots of different types of classes, and also different levels. So some are beginners or upper intermediates or advanced. Most of the classes that I do are about the intermediate to advanced level. So you probably won't be able to do my classes if somebody is a real beginner, like a true beginner. But at intermediate levels is good. And so for this type of class, this is a reading class. So the idea is I find articles online at different websites about lots of different topics. And so what I like to do for the students is to just have lots of different types of things that we read about so that you can learn new vocabulary, new expressions that are used every day related to different topics. So some topics have to do with, personal growth, psychology, technology, science, sometimes sports, not too much, but every now and then sports, everyday life, culture, just all different types. And the way I do the reading class is I choose an article, and then I give you guys the link to both. So this is the website where I found it. It's called EliteDaily.com, and
Yes, I read it.
oh, great! So you're already ready. And then I put it in a Google Doc so that I can manipulate it better. And we read from here. And I like to read first, a little bit at a time. And the reason why I read first, because I know you guys do pretty well already with the reading, but it is nice for you to also practice your listening skills to see if you can understand just by listening to me. It might also help you with your pronunciation if you listen to how I'm pronouncing the words while you're reading along. Some words might be new, and so sometimes people aren't sure how to pronounce them, so you can listen to me. And then people take turns, so you'll have a bunch of turns to read out loud. Hamid will have a turn, Ahmed will have a turn. You guys will have turns. Let me make this smaller. Okay, and that's, of course, a chance for you to practice your pronunciation and intonation and just, that fluid speaking. And then I go over some vocabulary. I go over vocabulary that I think might be new to you guys or might just help you to understand the article better. And, excuse me, if at any time you don't understand something and you want to understand it better, of course you can always just look up something on a dictionary, online dictionary or something, but you can also ask me. So if you're not quite sure what it means or you want to be able to use it correctly when you write or when you speak, you can ask me. And so anytime, just go ahead and ask. All right, so that's pretty much how it goes. You'll see how it goes. And Amparo, welcome.
Hi, teacher. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, nice to see you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Amparo, did you need the link, or you got it in the...
I already opened it.
Okay, great. Awesome. And you can open it if you want, and if you don't want to, you can just also be sharing it in the screen. So the title is Staying is Settling. Why you need to move at least 5 times in your life. So I think probably you guys understand everything. Maybe settling is new. When you settle for something, it's like you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to do anything else. You settle for whatever it is. You're okay with it. And it sometimes has a little bit of a negative connotation, like a negative meaning, because if you're just settling for something, it means you're not trying new things. So that's kind of the idea of the title. If you stay, it's like you're settling, but maybe you're settling for less. Maybe there's more out there in your life that you can discover, and that's why you need to move at least 5 times in your life. Of course, I picked this article because it might be controversial. Maybe we don't agree with this author. We'll see what she has to say. Maybe we just want to stay in the same place our whole lives. All right, so time to leave now. Get out of this room. Go somewhere, anywhere. Sharpen this feeling of happiness and freedom. Stretch your limbs. Fill your eyes. Be awake. Wider awake. Vividly awake in every sense and every pore. So that's a quote from this person, Stefan Zweig. Turn around, look at your life, and decide right now if this moment, this place, makes your pulse race and your heart bend. If there's not a fluttering feeling in the deepest part of your soul, questioning and absorbing everything around you, get out right now. All right. Hamid, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Staying is settling. Why you need to move at least 5 times in your life. Time to leave now. Get out of this room. Go somewhere, anywhere. Sharpen this feeling of happiness and freedom. Stretch your limbs. Fill your eyes. Be awake, wider awake. Vividly awake in every sense and every pore.
Keep going.
It is, okay, turn around, look at your life and decide right now if this moment, this place makes your pulse race and your heart bend. If there is not a fluttering feeling in the deepest part of your soul, questioning and absorbing everything around you, get out right now.
All right, so there she is. So she starts off
It looks like a poem.
Yeah, yeah, it is like a poem. So the first part is kind of like a more poetic, I would say, and a lot of people, in English at least, I don't know if you guys do it too, but it's very common to kind of start an article or a chapter of your book or something like that with a quote from somebody else. So that's what this person did. So it's time to leave now. Get out. So to get out is to leave, to go, somewhere. And this basically is, if you're not happy, if you're not feeling really wide awake, then maybe you need a change. That's kind of the idea. Stretch your limbs. This refers to like moving your arms, stretching your arms and your legs out so that you can feel freedom and you can move around. That's the idea. And you want to feel vividly awake, really awake. Like if something is vivid, you see it very clearly, it's bright. And if you're not feeling this way, then get out, leave now. That's the kind of the poetic way of saying this. And then she says it, or I'm not sure if it's a she or he actually who wrote this. This person who wrote the article also tells us, it's kind of telling us what to do. Take a look around and decide if this place, so the place where you are, where you're living perhaps, makes your pulse race. To race here means to beat very quickly. So you take your pulse, and when your pulse is beating quickly, it means you're kind of excited, right? And your heart bend. Bend just means to, kind of move around a little bit. Does your heart feel good in this place? If it's not, then you need to get out right now. That's the idea. The deepest part of your soul, the real stuff that's important to you. If you're not questioning and absorbing means taking everything in, looking around you and excited about stuff, then maybe you need to leave. That's the idea. If you feel comfortable, content, and unchallenged, stand up and walk away. Make plans or don't make plans, but whatever you do, leave this place and find somewhere new. There's a reason the word leaving sounds so nice, like saying see you later instead of goodbye. It puts you at ease. It signifies a fresh start, a departure from the old and overrun, because leaving is just the precursor to arriving, and there's nothing better than a fresh start. Okay, Aris.
If you feel comfortable, content, and unchallenged, stand up and walk away. Make plans or don't make plans, but whatever you do, leave this place and find somewhere new. There's a reason the word leaving sounds so nice, like saying see you later instead of goodbye. It puts you at ease. It signifies a fresh start, a departure from the old and overrun. Because leaving is just the precursor to arriving, and there's nothing better than a fresh start.
Good. Okay, so again, if you feel comfortable, content, happy, and unchallenged. So remember, the un just means not, so not challenged. Your life is pretty easy. This person is telling you to stand up, so get up, and walk away, to leave. You can make some plans or not, just whatever you do, leave this place, and the whole idea is to find somewhere new. And they say that the word leaving sounds so nice. That sounds nice to your ears. It's like saying see you later. So see you later, you're going to come back instead of just goodbye. Sometimes goodbye might mean for forever, for a long time. So it puts you at ease. To put you at ease makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel relaxed. So you don't have to say goodbye forever. You just say see you later. Going to find something new. And it signifies, or it means, you're getting a fresh start. Fresh here means new. A fresh start is a new start. You're trying something new. And it's a departure. Departure is like when you leave. So you're leaving the old and the overrun, the life that you've been living already. Because leaving is just the precursor. So precursor is what happens before something else. So you leave, but it's just the thing you do before you arrive somewhere else. And that's where you're going to have your fresh or new start, your new beginnings, we say. All right. This is an expression, too, we use a lot. There's nothing better than, and then you say what it is. So if you want to really express how good something is, you could say there's nothing better than, homemade pizza or something like that. All right. Whether it's a new apartment or a new city, starting over isn't about changing your scene, but the way you're living in it. It's about opening your eyes again, walking to the ledge and looking up, down, and across, once again comprehending the vastness of life that sits openly waiting for you. Life has a tendency to get stale. Like your favorite food, it loses its edge after a while, that special quality that made you love it so much in the first place. We like the places we confine ourselves to, become as dull and boring as our surroundings. New experiences are the reason we live. They are the reason we get up every day, the reason we carry on. While we enjoy comfort, we crave experience. The point of living is not to resign yourself to one part of life, but to continually redefine yourself. It's to baptize yourself over and over again in new waters and new experiences. Okay, Amparo, you have a lot there.
Whether it's a new apartment or a new city, starting over isn't about changing your scene, but the way you're living in it. It's about opening your eyes again, walking to the ledge and looking up, down, and across. Once again, comprehending the vastness of life that sits openly waiting for you. Life has a tendency to get stale, like your favorite food. It loses its edge after a while, that special quality that made you love it so much in the first place. We, like the places we confine ourselves to, become as dull and boring, as our surroundings. New experiences are the reason we live. They are the reason we get up every day, the reason we carry on. While we enjoy comfort, we create experience. The point of living is not to resign yourself to one part of life, but to continually redefine yourself. It's to baptize yourself over and over again in new waters and new experiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, whether it is. So, when we use the word whether, it's like whether it's this or it's that. So, it's used to compare a couple of things. So, in this case, it doesn't matter if it's a new apartment or a new city. Mm-hmm. It's just starting over. So, starting again. To start over means to start again, that idea of a fresh start. But it's not about just changing your scene, just going to a new city and living the same life, the same way, but actually to change the way you're living in it. So changing how you're living. And then they gave you some examples here. Opening your eyes again. Walking to the ledge. The ledge is like when you're on a building and you have the window. The ledge is outside the window where, somebody might stand if they're going to jump from the window or something. That's the ledge. But you're standing there or walking to the ledge, the end, and then you look up and down, and you're once again, so kind of like with we say childlike eyes, you're comprehending or understanding how huge or vast life is. It's huge. There's so much happening in life. And life is waiting for you, It's just waiting for you to do your thing. All right, so life has a tendency to get stale. So that's like food. Food, if you leave it out overnight or too long, it gets what we call stale. It's not good anymore. So your life can get stale as well. It loses its edge. The edge is like the special part of it, the quality, the special quality that makes you like it so much. We confine ourselves. So to confine yourself means you stay in one place. And so if you just stay in one place, always doing the same thing over and over, life can become dull and boring. Dull and boring is kind of the same thing. Dull is like not exciting, not very much going on, not very bright and sunny, but kind of just the same old thing. And boring, that's the same. Okay. So we need new experiences. They're the reason we live. Let's see. We crave experience. If you crave something, it means you really want it. Like you can crave chocolate or stuff that you like. You really desire it. The point of something. So in this case, the point of living is the reason why you're doing it. The point of living is not to resign yourself to one part of life, but, so that's the construction there. The point of living is not to do this, but to do this. That's the way you phrase it. And so the idea is to continually, so over and over, redefine yourself. So figure out who you are, and then what are you next? And baptize yourself. Usually baptize is think of a religion. You baptize yourself into a religion. But in this case, you're just coming into like a new person every time. Like when you have new experiences and you're becoming like a new person, redefining yourself. You have your entire life to be comfortable, to sit in your house and bask in the familiarity of it. But right now, while you're young and uncomfortable, keep going, keep challenging yourself, keep making yourself uncomfortable, because it's only when we're uncomfortable that we are growing and learning. To truly understand yourself, your purpose, and those around you, you must keep moving. You must move at least 5 times. 5 times to open your heart and dip your toes into something new, fresh, and life-changing. Okay. Ahmed.
Okay. You have your entire life to be comfortable, to sit in your house and bask in the familiarity of it. But right now, while you are young and uncomfortable, keep going, keep challenging yourself, keep making yourself uncomfortable. Because it's only when we are uncomfortable that we are growing and learning. Growing to truly understand yourself, your purpose, and those around you, you must keep moving. You must move at least 5 times. 5 times to open your heart and dip your toes into something new, fresh, and life-changing.
Good. So you have your entire life, your whole life, the whole rest of your life to be comfortable. So this article is kind of more geared toward young people, young adults, probably 20s, 30s, this kind of age. You have this idea that you can be comfortable later in your life. You have plenty of time to sit in your house and bask. To bask means to just sit there and take it all in and just enjoy it. So you have time to bask in the familiarity of it. So familiarity means you're very comfortable with it. So once you get older and you sit in your house, you can enjoy it then. But right now, when you're young, you need to be uncomfortable and keep going, because challenging yourself, so doing new things, trying new things, making sure that you're constantly uncomfortable is the way that you grow and learn. So that's the whole point kind of here of why this person is recommending that people move. And so the person says to really understand yourself, your purpose, kind of like the reason why you're here on earth, and to understand those people around you, you must keep moving. To keep moving means to continue to move. So you have to keep moving, changing places, and they came up with a number, 5. 5 times. And so you can do this to open your heart, so, to meet new people, friendships, relationships, things like that. That's the idea of opening your heart to new people and experiences. And dip, so to dip your toes into something new. When we dip our toes, usually we think of dipping our toes into the pool, the water, it's cold water maybe or something, so you just put your toes in a little bit to see. And so it's like trying new things. That's the idea. Dipping your toes into something new is trying something new, something fresh and life-changing. All right, so here's the 5 reasons. Here are the 5 reasons why this person thinks you have to move. So number 1, to get away from what you know. Your first move is like taking flight for the first time, like learning to fly. You realize the only thing stopping you from the world is yourself. You don't have wings, you have legs. airplanes and trains. You have buses, cars, and ocean liners. You have the world in front of you with nothing but open sky and limitless possibilities. Okay, Hamid.
1. To get away from what you know. Your first move is like taking flight for the first time. Like learning to fly, you realize the only thing stopping you from the world is yourself. You don't have wings, you have legs, airplanes and trains. You have buses, cars, and ocean liners. You have the world in front of you with nothing but open sky and limitless possibilities.
All right, so to get away from. So to get away from is to move away from, to leave, to not be there anymore from all the things that you know, your family, your friends, your day-to-day life, that kind of idea. So this is like taking flight for the first time. So kind of an analogy to a bird, like a baby bird learning to fly and leave the nest. We call that when you leave home for the first time, you leave your parents' home, it's called leaving the nest, is in English we say that. So it's like learning to fly. To realize means you understand that the only thing stopping you from the world is yourself. So you're the only person who can get in your way, kind of thing. And of course we don't have wings like birds, but we have other things that can move us around the earth, these different things. And you have the world in front of you. So in front of you just means right there to experience. It's all right there for you to be able to experience in front of you. And it's open sky. Open sky means the idea of being limitless. So limitless possibility. There's nothing in your way is the idea there. So you can go out and experience life. But first, you must leave the nest. You must say goodbye to everything you grew up with, the small world you once considered enough. You must unlatch yourself from the comforts of the familiar and place yourself in the middle of chaos. This first move is the hardest. It's the moment you willingly decide to be uncomfortable, scared, and alone. It's making the decision to become a foreigner, an outsider, a refugee. It's abandoning everything you once cherished for the idea that there's something better out there. Okay, Ares.
But first, you must leave the nest. You must say goodbye to everything you grow up with, the small world you once considered enough. You must unlatch yourself from the comforts of the familiar and place yourself in the middle of chaos. This first move is the hardest. It's the moment you willingly decide to be uncomfortable, scared, and alone. It's making the decision to become a foreigner, an outsider, a refugee. It's abandoning everything you once cherished for the idea that there's something better out there.
Great. Okay, so like I was saying, leaving the nest, so the place where you grew up and where everything was comfortable, everything you grew up with. So I like to say this. So children grow up and their parents raise them. So as a child, when you're talking about yourself, you say, I grew up with, this or that, brothers, sisters, things like this. But if you're referring to your parents, then you could say, they raised me, or I was raised by them. So it's a little bit of a confusing thing sometimes for people. But here we see it. So whatever you grew up with in the small world, you once considered enough. So maybe you thought, this is good for me. But now as you get older, you want to experience life, perhaps. So you have to unlatch yourself from. So to unlatch something or somebody from something else is like to unhook, to take, like you have a key and a lock and then you unlatch it. It means to open up, to make it free so you can move around. So you're unlatching yourself, getting yourself free from the comforts of the familiar, the place that you are, that you know really well, that you are familiar with, and then you want to place yourself in the middle of chaos. So go somewhere where it's not everything that you know. So this first move is the hardest, the most difficult, but it's the moment you willingly. So willingly means nobody else is telling you, like your parents, hey, you got to get out of here, go do something. But you actually want to do it. You are willingly deciding to become uncomfortable, perhaps scared, maybe alone. And the idea of becoming a foreigner, not necessarily leaving your country, but even if you leave and you move to a new part of your town or city, or you go to another town in your state or country or something, you don't have all your friends and your family there, so you are considered like a foreigner or an outsider, a refugee, just somebody who came to another place. Okay, so to abandon, you let go of everything that you once cherished. When cherished means to love, that you really like or that you really love, because you're doing it because there's something better out there. Out there means out in the world for you to discover. Okay, so another reason is to find new experiences. The second move you make, so the first time you just left just to be out there away. The next time is you're looking for new experiences. The second move you make should be one of restlessness. You should be tired of the same flavors of your now comfortable surroundings. This move is about feeling again. It's about accepting that you can't possibly know everything, but you are going to try. You're going to have experiences, adventures, an unforeseen future. You don't know who you'll meet, what you'll find, or how you'll get there, but you will do it. You will jump into it blindly and openly. You will make new friends, find new flavors, and reignite that passion for life that came with your first move. You will not rest until your hungry soul is placated. You will leave your old friends for new ones, your first language for another, and that idea that you're home for that invigorating feeling of homesick. Okay, Amparo.
To find new experiences, the second move you make should be one of restlessness. You should be tired of the same flavors of your now comfortable surroundings. This move is about feeling again. It's about accepting that you can't possibly know everything, but you are going to try.
Okay, let me move it up.
You are going to have experiences, adventures, and an unforeseen future. You don't know who you'll meet, what you'll find, or how you'll get there, but you will do it. You will jump into it blindly and openly. You will make new friends, find new flavors, and reignite that passion for life that came with your first move. You will not rest until your hungry soul is placated. You will leave your old friends for new ones, your first language for another, and that idea that you are home for that invigorating feeling of homesick.
Being homesick, yeah. Okay, so restless. You're restless. You want to get out and move. That's another reason why you could move, is you're tired. So, you moved once, and now everything is becoming like the same, and you're comfortable again. But this is about feeling again, so having feelings, new emotions and things, and accepting, understanding that you can't possibly know everything, but you're going to try. So you're going to change and have new experiences again. New experiences, adventures, and unforeseen future. Unforeseen means not being able to see it yet. You don't know what's going to happen. It's unforeseen. All right, you're not going to know who you're going to meet, so you new people perhaps, or what you're going to do, and you will jump into it. So that's the idea of going for it. You're just going to do it blindly. Even though you don't know what's going to happen, you're going to just be open. So you're doing it blindly and openly. Those are adverbs describing how you're doing something. You're doing this move blindly and openly. So you might make new friends, try new flavors, and reignite. So to reignite, means again. So to ignite means to start again, like this passion, to try to get that feeling of passion for life that came when you first moved out of your house, for example. All right, you will not rest until your hungry soul is placated. Placated means pleased or satisfied. So you're going to just move until that gets satisfied there. All right, so you're leaving your friends, maybe going, now it sounds like maybe going to another country, finding, using another language. And the idea that you're home for that invigorating means something that gets you kind of excited, so you're going to be excited about having that idea of feeling homesick. All right, to homesick means you want to go back home, usually, so you're going to get to that place after you've made all these new discoveries and things. Another reason is to chase love. To chase love is to chase happinesses. It's to decide that you will throw yourself into the swirling, maddening, and restless chase we're all trying to enter, because love is the ultimate destination, is it not? It's the reason we move every day. It's the reason we get up and fight through the bad. It's the reason we keep going, trudging on, meeting person after person. It's the last goal, the final frontier, and the only thing worth moving for. If you think you've found it in a person, a city, a job, you must move for it. If your dream job awaits in Spain, you must move there. If your heart yearns for the pink beaches of Bermuda, you must go there. If you fall in love on the dunes of the Cape with a man you barely know, you must follow him. Chasing love is not irresponsible, it's honest. It's admitting that there is no greater chase, nothing more important, because if you're not chasing love, what are you running after? Okay, Ahmed.
Okay. To chase love is to chase happiness. It's to decide that you will throw yourself into the swirling, maddening, and restless chase we are all trying to enter. Because love is the ultimate destination, is it not? It's the reason we move every day. It's the reason we get up and fight through the bad. It's the reason we keep going, trudging, or meeting person after person. It's the last goal, the final frontier.
Frontier.
And the only thing worth moving for. If you think you have found it in a person, a city, a job, you must move for it. If your dream job awaits in Spain, you must move there. If your heart yearns for the pink beaches of Bermuda, you must go there. If you fall in love in the dunes of the Cape with a man you barely know, you must follow him. Chasing love is not irresponsible. It's honest. It's admitting that there is no greater chase, nothing more important, because if you are not chasing love, what are you running after?
Okay, good. All right, to chase. So to chase means to go after somebody. So like a dog chases another dog around, they're running after each other, that kind of thing. And when a person chases after somebody or something, it means they're moving towards that. So if you decide to throw yourself into, so it doesn't mean literally, it's figuratively, where you're throwing yourself into, it means you're just open to new experiences. You're willing to have these experiences because they're going to be swirling, maddening, you're going to be upset maybe, and restless. This is the idea of describing the type of chase that love requires. All right, so we're all trying to do this. We're chasing the things we love. It doesn't have to be people necessarily, but could be a person or a job or a place or something like that. And it's very poetic, like Hamid is saying, because love is the ultimate. The ultimate means like the final, the most important place that you're going to go, your destination, where you're going to end up, where you're going to be at the end is your destination. It's the reason we move every day. It's the reason we get up, so why we wake up every morning and fight through the bad experiences that life has for us sometimes. It's the reason we keep going. To keep going means to continue. Trudging on. Trudging on is kind of like keep going, but it gives a little bit more like it's suffering. You're suffering a little bit. It's hard. If you trudge, for example, through the snow, it's kind of hard. It's not easy, but you do it anyways. All right, so we'll just keep going on and on for love. And then this is these are some things that mean basically the same thing. The last goal, the final frontier, the only thing worth moving for. So that's very kind of dramatic here. The final frontier is like the last place. We call space right now the final frontier. It's the last place we can figure out that we have to discover something new. Let's see. All right, maybe you have already found it, referring to love. You found it in a person, a city, a job, and you have to go there. You must move for it. And then the author gives some examples. So, for example, you have a dream job, and it's in Spain. You have to go there. If your heart yearns for, to yearn for means to just desire, to really want. You just want to go and be on the beaches of Bermuda, then you have to go there. If you fell in love with some guy on the dunes are on the beach, like kind of like the mountains of sand are the dunes. The Cape Cod, for example, that's in the United States. Even if you barely know that guy, so to barely know somebody means you don't really know them at all. Maybe you just met them for the first time, but you think you're in love, you're going to follow him or chase after him. And they're saying it's not irresponsible. Irresponsible means it's not responsible. It's not a good idea. Instead, she's saying it's not irresponsible. It's honest. It's how you really feel, and it's admitting. So when you admit something, it means this is how it is. I'm telling you the truth. All right. So if you're not chasing after love, what are you running after? So that's the number 3. All right. Now you might have to escape that love. Love isn't infinite. It can be found in a moment, a single dose, or a fleeting romance. It can be a year of perfect love with someone who isn't supposed to stay in your life. It can be in beaches that bring you peace until your heart yearns for something new. It can be in the first bite of pasta and over with its last. Love isn't defined by its length, but its capacity to touch you and change you. Just because it doesn't last doesn't mean it wasn't real. You must leave for love, but you also must realize when that love no longer remains. You must be strong enough to walk away from finished love to find new love. You must flee the suffocation that comes from stifled love and keep your heart open for more. You must never settle, never give in to the idea that you can't have another one, because the world is full of things to throw your heart into, things to make you weep and realize, yet again, why you're alive. Okay, Hamid.
4. To escape that love. Love isn't infinite. It can be found in a moment, a single dose or a fleeting romance. It can be a year of perfect love with someone who isn't supposed to stay in your life. It can be beaches that bring you peace until your heart yearns for something new. It can be in the first bite of pasta and over with its last. Love isn't defined by its length, but its capacity to touch you and change you. Just because it doesn't last doesn't mean it wasn't real. You must live for love, but you also must realize when that love no longer remains. You must be strong enough to walk away from finished love to find new love. You must flee the suffocation that comes from stifled love and keep your heart open for more. You must never settle, never give in to the idea that you can't have another one. Because the world is full of things to throw your heart into. Things to make you weep and realize, yet again, why you are alive.
Okay, good. It's not infinite, so it doesn't go on and on and on forever and ever, necessarily. Okay, so love, it can be found in a moment, a single dose. A single dose, dose usually is when you're talking about medication. You know, you take a dose every 5 hours or something like that. But in this case, it's a love. Maybe you just had one moment with that person. That's called like a single dose. Maybe it was a fleeting romance. So a fleeting means it's going away soon. It's not going to stay forever. It's just a romance that's going to last for a little while, and then it's going to be gone. Maybe you spent some time, a whole year, with the perfect love, but that person is not supposed to stay in your life, so it's not forever. Okay, so giving more examples, maybe you fell in love with the beaches, and then you started to want something new. So your heart started to yearn, to want, to desire something new. Or maybe you fell in love with the first bite of pasta, your spaghetti, and then that's it. You loved it, and that's over. Okay. All right, so it's not defined by its length, but its capacity to touch you and change you. So love, it doesn't matter how long it lasts, but rather how much it affects you personally, emotionally, and how it changes you. That's what this person is saying. Just because it doesn't last, that means it doesn't go on and on and on. It doesn't mean that it wasn't real. It was real, but it just was a short time. All right, so you have to be strong enough to walk away. You have to leave. You have to be able to leave when something is over. You must flee. Flee means to leave. The suffocation. Suffocation is like, if somebody puts a pillow over your face, then you will suffocate. So it's like when you can't breathe anymore. You feel, sometimes in a relationship, maybe you feel suffocation because you can't do what you want to do or something like that. Stifled love. Stifled love is when, it's kind of like when you stifle something, you're kind of putting it out. So you don't want to stifle your ability to love. Just because you lost your love or you're out of love now, it doesn't mean that you should put it away and not be open to another love. So that's what she's saying. Don't stifle, don't get suffocated from, trying to be alone all the time. Instead, keep your heart open for more. There will be other people. Do not settle. Do not say, oh, it's okay if I'm single forever. I'll never fall in love again. No, don't do that. Be open to the idea that the world is full of things to throw your heart into. So to throw your heart into means to be involved with. So to do something interesting and amazing with your life. There are things that can make you cry. To weep means to cry. And things that can help you realize that you are alive and why you are alive. So, and the last one, to begin all over again. You must resist the confines of comfort. You must defy, go against, the idea of settled. You must never resign yourself to the ordinary or the easy. You must challenge tranquility for the promise of something greater. To live is to be born, and to continually live is to be reborn again and again. As a new person, new lover, new friend, you must willingly evolve and transform into new versions of yourself. You must never allow the new place you've created to become the final place. You must consistently defy the idea of comfort for the idea that you'll never be fully satisfied unless you're exploring, changing, and moving. Okay, Aris.
To begin all over again, you must resist the confines of comfort. You must defy the idea of settled. You must never resign yourself to the ordinary or the easy. You must challenge tranquility for the promise of something greater.
Mm-hmm.
To live is to be born, and to continually live is to be reborn, again and again. As a new person, new lover, new friend, you must willingly evolve and transform into new versions of yourself. You must never allow the new place you've created to become the final place. You must consistently defy the idea of comfort for the idea that you'll never be fully satisfied unless you're exploring, changing, and moving.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, so again, you must resist. So there's lots of words like that in this last paragraph. Resist, defy, let's see, evolve. All right, so you have to not become too comfortable. Again, you don't want to just, be confining yourself to a life of just comfort. You must defy. Defy means to go against. The idea of settled, this is it. This is where I'm going to be forever. I don't need anything new. That's settled. And never resign yourself to. To is the preposition you use there. Resign yourself to something means you're saying, okay, this is it. I'm resigning myself to this job or to this life or to this way of being. Something like that. You're saying, it's okay. I'm going to do this forever. No, instead, you don't want to do that. To the ordinary, the normal, and the easy. You must challenge. So here, these ideas: resist, defy, challenge, tranquility. Tranquility means peace and quiet. You're, very nice, simple life, because you want something better, something greater. All right. So to live, to be born, is to continually live, is to be reborn. So again and again, you're reinventing yourself, redefining yourself. Who are you? What do you like to do? Who are your friends? The people that you love? That kind of stuff. And you must willingly evolve, so that means to change and transform. Change over time. These are very similar in meaning, because you don't want to have the place that you've created, like a new job or a new relationship, be the final place, the last place that you go. You want to consistently, so all over and over again, defy this idea of comfort, because you will never be fully satisfied, according to the author, unless, so you're not going to be satisfied if you are not continuing to explore, change, and move around in life. That's, according to this author, what life is about. So we have 9 minutes left, and I want to know whether or not you guys agree with this author. Amparo, what do you think?
I am not agree with this guy. It sounds like she is so adventurous.
Yeah.
And she thinks that everything is going to be fine. I don't think so. That you can't leave everything behind just trying to live new adventures. I'm more safer than this author. I prefer something that is more sure. Well, it's good to challenge yourself with new things every day, but I think that you cannot take too many risks in the way that she suggests. And maybe she's a dreamer.
Yeah, maybe more romantic, kind of like.
Yeah, a romantic dreamer. I don't know.
Well, certainly.
I
Some
not
people
completely
are.
agree with her.
Let's see what Hamid, you're a romantic dreamer. Do you agree
Yes.
with her?
Some parts yes, but some parts no. For example, she says you can go whenever and wherever you can go.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
in this world, it is very hard. I mean, for example, I don't have enough money, so it depends on some conditions. But with a joke, I can say that I can go with two ways. These are with cyber. I mean, with internet, via internet,
Yeah.
with Google Maps or Google Street application, and
Yeah.
another way in my dreams.
Yeah, sure. In your dreams.
But there are some parts, and as Amparo said, it's a challenging point, and I understood that this guy says you should refresh yourself again and again, and when you do that, you can maybe discover something unknown, or some certain points you can discover something again and again. So we should refresh, and we should focus on something differently.
Kind of, redefining ourselves, trying. You can try things new, even if you end up staying in your own house or your town.
Yes, and I know some things from personal development books.
Yeah.
For example, they say basically, simply, for example, if you put sugar to your tea or whatever you can drink,
Yeah.
if you are turn to your spoon from left to right,
Yeah.
you should change it to from right to left. So we should refresh our behaviors, attitudes, and brain thinkings as well.
Yeah, for your brain. Right. I've read that too. Yeah. Ahmed, what do you think about this idea of moving? Have you moved very much in your life, Ahmed?
Yeah, I like it, the idea, but sometimes you have a troubles, you have difficulties to do that idea. But I like it, the idea, and I wanna try it.
All right, where are you gonna go?
Yeah, you know, last year I changed a lot in my life.
Okay.
I, uh, I introduced to a new friends, a new style, a new lifestyle, and I found it good to discover all styles, to discover all things. You know, it will be bad if you stay in your style, in your area, in your thinking. You have to change to be. You have to be adaptable to the world.
Yeah.
So this idea is very great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, certainly this is a type of article that we would call like an opinion piece. I mean, she's very much telling you what she thinks you should do, right? Like, this is a good idea. And of course, we may agree or may not agree. It just depends on maybe your situation in life and how you're feeling about life. But certainly, Aris, what do you think about this idea? You think it's important for young people to get out of the house and go do stuff, new stuff?
It's important.
Yeah.
You have to, I don't know. This is important because you can learn more languages and something like that. But I think that it's not all about love, because you have other goals in your life too, and in your place maybe there's your love or your family. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
And I have a boyfriend that went to Florida last year. And he told me that it was such a great experience, and if I could, I would to United States.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really big experience to go far away from your home and to try new things. And for a lot of people in the United States, going away to college for the first time, that's a big experience for people here. And that usually happens at around age 18 or 19 or something like that. I know in some countries it's not as common, like if especially nowadays for economic reasons, it's harder to leave your parents' home. But I think in the United States, it's kids want to do that. I don't know. In Spain, do kids want to leave?
Yes. The kids have to leave because in Spain the work and there are so many students that finish their careers and their degrees, and in Spain there are no jobs for them.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah. So they have to move and go to Germany, United States, and
yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Amparo. Do you think this is maybe a cultural thing, Amparo, where the lady is kind of more like that's more of an American cultural thing?
Yes, I suppose so, because here, for example, it's not too common. For example, to leave your house, even when you are at the university, generally they are in the same city, so you don't have to move over there.
Yeah.
Just last years, for example, just now they are some residents for the students inside the universities, but it doesn't very common.
Yeah. It's not
Mhm.
as common. Yeah, I think could be a cultural thing. In some countries, family is much more connected and important than modern day America.
Even when
Maybe
you don't live with your parents, probably they try to find a relative or someone
Right.
else that
Yeah.
is close. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, time's up. We used our time, so thanks for coming, everybody, and reading an interesting article. And I'm glad you guys came to class. Thanks.
Teacher, take care.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys. Bye, everybody.